Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Vernon Smith, Provost of the American Public University System. It is my great pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today. Welcome to the class of 2019 to your commencement ceremony. Please stand for the national anthem performed by Ms. Kimberly Crotty. Gentlemen, please remove your caps at this time for the national anthem and invocation. Thank you, Kimberly. The invocation will be delivered by the University Chaplain, Dr. Cynthia Lindenmeyer.
Would you pray with me? Creator of us all, may we pause and lose ourselves in this moment. May we own it. And may we never let this opportunity drift into the void of a distant memory. We gather to honor all who journeyed this unknown path of academic endurance. Through the chaos of life, we stayed the course to be at this time and place. Today, as we hear each graduate's name read, may we be strengthened, knowing that their story is our story, their accomplishment is our accomplishment, their joy is our joy. Our hearts also join with American Public University and American Military University graduates whose voices applaud and support our classmates who are here in spirit. And may we remember those who are still on the path seeking not just a diploma, but the opportunity to take this present moment to change the future to one of hope, justice, and compassion for all. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Lindenmeyer. I would like to introduce our distinguished colleagues on the platform. Please be seated, all. Starting to my immediate right, our president, Dr. Wallace Boston. Our commencement speaker, General Michelle D. Johnson. Delivering our student address, Christina Schaff. Chair of our Board of Trustees, General Alfred Gray. Chair of our Board of Directors, General Barbara Fast. University Chaplain, Dr. Cynthia Lindenmeyer. In the second row are members of our Board of Trustees and Board of Directors. Serving on our Board of Trustees, Dr. J.D. Polk, Dr. Kate Zatz, General David Huntoon, Member Emeritus Colonel Frank Ball. Serving on our Board of Directors, Ms. Jean Howley, Mr. William Robinson. To my left on the platform is Assistant Provost and Dean of the School of Education, Dr. Conrad Lotze. Dean of the School of Arts and Humanities, Dr. Grace Glass. Interim Dean of the School of Business, Dr. Marie Gould Harper. Dean of the School of Health Sciences, Dr. Brian Freeland. Dean of the School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, Dr. Ahmed Nauman. Associate Dean of the School of Security and Global Studies, Dr. Nicole Drummiller. In the next row, Dean of Graduate Studies and Research, Dr. Jennifer Douglas. Assistant Provost and Dean of the Extension School, Dr. Grady Batchelor. Senior Vice President and Chief of Operations Officer, Mr. Bob Gay. Executive Vice President and Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Patrick Dyberg. Associate Provost and University Registrar, Ms. Michelle Newman. And our Mace Bearer and Vice Provost, Dr. Gwendolyn Hall. Program directors, faculty directors, our faculty that are present, and staff seated on the stage and in the audience, please rise and be recognized. Thank you for all the great work you do in service to our students. You may be seated. Now, I would like to invite spouses, loved ones, parents, children, and friends of the graduates to please rise. Graduates, please stand, turn around, and recognize these dear friends and family members and thank them for the support they've given you as you've worked on your degree. Thank you. To give the President's address, I am pleased to invite our President, Dr. Wallace Boston, to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming President Boston.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the American Public University System and its Board of Trustees, I extend a hearty welcome to the members of this year's graduating class and all of our honored guests. In January of 1993, American Military University accepted its first cohort of 18 students, all seeking a master's degree in military studies. The internet was in its infancy, and so our first courses didn't come through the internet, but they went through UPS, Federal Express, or the Postal Service to students with a box of materials, some books, a syllabus, as well as instructions to call your professor or email them if you had email once a week. We've come a long way. Over the next 25 years, our courses evolved as technology enabled the development of learning management systems. The internet developed. We went from desktop computers to laptop computers, broadband for faster online connection speed, e-books, software simulations, etc. AMU evolved also and began offering undergraduate degrees, as well as we established the American Public University System and American Public University. We grew from that first degree program, which was a master's program and 18 students, to 120 degree programs, associates, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral, and nearly 83,000 students. Today, 70,000 students are pursuing studies in 75 undergraduate degree programs, ranging from the original military studies to psychology, space studies, homeland security, sports management, and an RN to Bachelor of Science in Nursing, among others. Welcome all of you to membership in our Alumni Association, which thanks to this year's group of graduates is now over 85,000 strong. Those of you seated here represent 9,020 alums who earned either a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree over the past 12 months. Your class is one of the largest group of graduating undergraduate students in our history. Another round of applause. Now, clearly, not everyone chose the same path. Your paths to complete your degrees differed from person to person, but in many cases, your drive and determination to complete your degree were boosted by the cooperation and understanding of your family, and that's why we ask for that turnaround and salute and recognition, and I think they deserve another round of applause for their words of encouragement and assistance. When we look at the history of higher education, it's really more broadly defined as the history of education itself having evolved over the past 100 years here in the United States. As recently as 1905, and this date's important, when my grandfather graduated from high school, only 6% of Americans earned a high school degree. Even fewer attended college, a little over 2%. Earning a high school degree was a big differentiator for my grandfather's generation, and by the time my mother graduated from high school in 1948, I know that's a long time ago, but we'll just figure out the math, she was number 10 of 12. A whopping 18% of Americans graduated from high school and 7% from college. Fast forward, that was 43 years. Now we've increased 300% and 200% from 1905 to 1948. By 2012, 88% of Americans had graduated from high school by the age of 25, and 31% had earned at least a bachelor's degree. Today, approximately 70% of high school graduates enroll in college, and approximately 60% of them are expected to graduate over a 6 to 8 year period. If those graduation rates hold steady, that means that eventually 39% of Americans will hold a college degree. Some people say that number's not high enough given the advance of technology and the way our jobs are changing, and I agree. In an era where the amount of content being published on the World Wide Web each year is equivalent to the content published by the New York Times over its entire history since the 1700s, those of us who are able to discern good content from bad content will be able to thrive at work and at home, and maybe we'll even be able to work at home and be just as valuable as working in an office. At the same time, with technology being able to employ people wherever they live around the world, we're no longer competing with our countrymen for jobs, particularly those jobs that pay for your knowledge and your experience. Your choice of continuing and completing your education online enabled many of you to gain an education while working. It wasn't easy, but you made it. Whether you continue with your studies or continue to acquire knowledge and your expertise throughout your career and other experiences, take advantage of your education. Economically, people with more education and skills and experience and the ability to adapt to changes in technology and the workforce will benefit far more than people with ordinary skills and experience. All of you have taken a big first step in positioning yourselves for the changes that will occur in a world where the pace and breadth of technology is exponentially increasing. I congratulate you, wish you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors, and thank you for choosing us for your college education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Boston. We will now take a few moments to acknowledge graduates and faculty who were honored earlier today for their academic and teaching excellence. Award recipients, please stand when your name is announced, and please hold your applause until all are recognized. The Class of 2019 Academic Scholar Awards were presented to Matthew Pruitt, School of Arts and Humanities; Don Warren, School of Business; Alexandra Moore, School of Education; Whitney Rice, School of Health Sciences; Julia Cheney, School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics; Faris Amra, School of Security and Global Studies; and the 2019 Undergraduate President's Award recipient is Christopher Parks. Please join me in congratulating them. At this time, we would like to have all our graduates who received academic honors to please stand. Congratulations on achieving this honor. Graduates, you may be seated. Now, I would like to invite the recipients of the Outstanding Faculty Awards to stand when announced, and again, please hold your applause. The 2019 Faculty Awards were presented to Dr. Richard Leiter, School of Business; Doug Sloan and Jennifer Cedillo, School of Health Sciences; Dr. Karen Hand, Dr. Joseph Dylan Maddox, Harry Cooper Jr., and Shannon Chihutsky, all from the School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics; and Lisa Kochevar from the School of Security and Global Studies. Please join me in congratulating them all. A special award, the Wallasey Boston Leadership Award, is reserved for an individual that demonstrates outstanding leadership, significant contributions to higher education, and impact to his or her community, industry, and the world around us. Yesterday, during our awards luncheon, James Barney was honored with this award. Please join me in congratulating James on this accomplishment. The James P. Etter Award for Creativity and Innovation was created in honor of the American Public University System's founder and first chancellor, Mr. James P. Etter. This award is presented to an individual who clearly thinks out of the box, someone that has the drive and passion to turn dreams into a reality. The 2019 James P. Etter Award for Creativity and Innovation was presented to Jason Bacchus at our awards banquet yesterday afternoon. Please join me in congratulating Jason on this achievement and recognition. Today, it is indeed an honor to have General Michelle Johnson as our commencement speaker. General Johnson is Senior Vice President and Head of Referee Operations for the National Basketball Association. She is in charge of the NBA's officiating program, which includes recruitment, training, and evaluation of the entire ecosystem of NBA referees, including the WNBA and developmental G League referees, stewards of the integrity of the game. She also oversees the NBA Replay Center. There's more. In her capstone Air Force assignment, Michelle served as the 19th Superintendent of the United States Air Force Academy, the first woman to lead a federal military service academy. A dual role as a military commander and a college president. Michelle is a 1981 U.S. Air Force Academy graduate, and as a cadet, she earned the leadership role of Cadet Wing Commander, a first for women in the Air Force Academy as well, among all federal service academies. She is a Rhodes Scholar as well as being named twice a Basketball Academic All-American. She was later inducted into the All-American Hall of Fame. During her distinguished Air Force career, Michelle was a command pilot with more than 3,600 flying hours in multi-engine jet cargo and in-flight refueling tanker aircraft. Her flying missions spanned the globe, and she deployed several times to Southwest Asia, Africa, the Pacific, and the Indian Ocean regions. She also served in the White House from 1992 to 1994 as Air Force aide to President Bush, number 41, and President Clinton. As Brigadier General, Michelle led a team on the Pentagon's Joint Staff that created the policy foundation for U.S. Cyber Command. Prior to her appointment as the United States Air Force's Academy Superintendent, she was posted to the Supreme Headquarters, Allied Powers in Europe as NATO's Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations and Intelligence Support of NATO's military actions from Afghanistan to anti-piracy activities off the Horn of Africa, air operations over Libya, to the Balkan peacekeeping and Baltic air policing. Michelle is married to John Hargraves, a retired Air Force pilot. Their twin sons are avid high school marching band and orchestra musicians. Earlier today, we awarded General Johnson the Doctorate of Public Service, honoris causa, in recognition of her extraordinary achievement, not only in public service to her country, but also to academia. General Johnson, thank you for your service to the American people, their liberty, their security at home and abroad. That's good. General Johnson has agreed to share some of her thoughts and words with you at this time. Please welcome General Johnson to the podium.
Thank you very much. You probably heard enough about me, so thanks for your patience. The important thing today is congratulations. Congratulations, graduates, families, and friends, because this is a shared effort. Well done. Congratulations for your achievement, for your perseverance, and for launching a lifetime of learning. Thank you to the boards of trustees and directors and President Boston for including me in today's celebration and for generously bestowing an honorary degree. I feel like I'm a little bit of your classmate now, and that's awesome. This university's vision carries deep meaning for me: to advance social, economic, and environmental well-being through the transformative power of education. Higher education changed the trajectory of my life, and when I ended my Air Force career and moved beyond being the role as Air Force Academy Superintendent, I hope to follow up in higher education. I've loved the world of ideas from my youth in Iowa, before there was an internet, a long time before there was an internet. And when my window to the world was the local public library. And again, following my Air Force career, I sought a role in civilian higher education. In the process, and you'll find this someday too, search firms entered my resume into their candidate inventories. Meanwhile, the National Basketball Association was looking for an experienced leader to formalize processes for scouting, training, and evaluating referees, as the provost said, in the G League, the WNBA, and the NBA. Referee operations really do serve the integrity of the game, and that's what hooked me. So I was surprised by the NBA and that they approached me. But this illustrates one thing I'd like to share with you today. Life doesn't follow a straight line. It's more a wild ride of ups and downs and serendipitous opportunities. My journey has been wild and wonderful. When I was posted in Belgium at NATO's military headquarters, the British Deputy Supreme Allied Commander Europe asked me, "How did you get here?" And so I told him about growing up in Iowa and climbing up on barns with my dog. Are there Iowans out there? Awesome. We got to stick together. There aren't many of us. But I would climb up on the barn rooftops with my dog and look at the horizon, and I'd wonder, could I ever get into that big world? At a high school career day, I happened to learn about the Air Force Academy, and I took a leap. And that leap transported me into the big world. Educators and leaders mentored me to stretch my comfort zone to meet new challenges. And that's what I told the general. And he said to me, "Only in America." And I said, maybe that's true. I only know that I was born where I was, when I was, and I appreciate the bow wave of change that came since the 1970s. Laws and policies changed to open doors to pursue a life of learning and meaning with diverse people in diverse endeavors. It has been worth it to take a chance on unexpected opportunities. It has been worth it to learn from setbacks, put one foot in front of the other, and press on. In addition to life's nonlinear path, I'd like to underline the importance of our humanity, especially in our data-driven, technologically advanced times. My story might be similar to some of yours. Neither of my parents earned college degrees. They did not have military experience, but they did stress the basics. Don't lie, don't bother people, do your best. Those basics translated pretty neatly into the Air Force core values: integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. Most institutions have similar core values. By whatever words, the aspiration is to align people to a shared purpose. It's about trust, trust amongst colleagues who had been strangers, on whom our lives and/or our livelihoods may depend. Integrity, respect, do your best. My father was a tough farmer. A key subset of his "don't bother people" code included no crying. So I was shocked. See, some of you knew people like that. So I was shocked to see my dad weeping at my Air Force pilot training graduation. I asked, "Dad, what's wrong?" He said, "My daughter is a jet pilot." I said, "Dad, you told us we could do anything we set our minds to." But he said, "I could not imagine this." He could not imagine it. I'm so fortunate that my father embraced that jump beyond his understanding with love. His reaction has remained my backstop when I face those who respond to the unimaginable with reactions that are not loving. I learned as a member of the Academy's second coeducational class what it's like to be made to feel other. Many faculty, staff, and cadets did not want service academies to be coeducational. So women cadets were routinely accused of ruining the academy and for lowering standards. That sentiment has changed dramatically based on 4 decades of measured performance, but it is not entirely gone. Of course, human beings are involved. Knowing what other feels like has informed my career, and the pattern goes beyond personal structural bias. Human beings are often suspicious of those with different points of view or different professional experience. When I became the head of my alma mater, the Academy, I was determined to put a priority on the culture of respect, diversity of thought, and inclusion. It turned out that many people still did not like the idea of a woman at the Academy, especially a woman superintendent. And they made that crystal clear over the first few months. But a lifetime experience steeled me for it. And we did lift the culture. And we did it with the echoes of our core values: integrity, respect yourself and others, do your best. It was also satisfying to serve in higher education in an era of heightened focus on STEM education: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. All truly critical and important. Still, working with human beings benefits from also understanding the human condition through history, philosophy, literature, the arts. as well as from a firm grasp of the scientific method and the technology that science produces. Critical thinking skills can help us bridge the human-technology interface. We need them both. In 2011, Mark Zuckerberg said of Facebook that there is a psychology and a sociology to the technology. And we're seeing that, are we not? Doubt is being cast on expertise itself and privacy, on the accuracy of numbers, in the meanings of leaders' words. There's a real danger in terms of lives and treasure in having doubt cast on our government, financial markets, communications media, and even GPS-dependent navigation. Technology should be a tool for humans, not the other way around. I'm just saying. I hope you've seen the movie Sully or read about Chelsea Sullenberger, an Air Force and commercial airline pilot. The investigators of his remarkable landing on the Hudson River on January 15, 2009, questioned his choice for an emergency landing site after a bird strike knocked out both engines. Only after they took into account the human element, the time it took to recognize the emergency and adapt, did it become clear that deep knowledge and well-honed judgment saved lives in a water landing. Believe it or not, NBA referees are a lot like pilots. They study volumes of technical rules, review endless video clips of plays called correctly or not, and for them, every game is an away game. On basketball courts with very tall, fast, strong, and passionate players, surrounded by screaming fans, not screaming nice things, by the way, referees leverage their knowledge and their well-honed judgment to make bang-bang decisions. Now, accuracy is fundamental to the officiating craft, and there's a vast body of data on referees' performance, perhaps the most analytical scrutiny in all sports. By all measures, NBA referees are excellent, though not perfect. However, in the 2017 and 2018 season, media focused on the tensions between officials and players, not data. The NBA dispatched our head referee, Monty McCutcheon, a former NBA All-Star, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, and me, to talk with all 30 teams. The players' and coaches' central concerns were with human considerations: eye contact, communication, respect, and empathy. Yes, empathy. We incorporated that feedback into our training curriculum, and this season we visited all the teams again. The feedback says we've made great strides, still not perfect, but better. The interpersonal interactions on the court are incredibly intense, especially now during the playoffs. The court environment is truly a microcosm of intense times in our off-court social and political lives, too. The tenor of the times has sent me to my roots of gaining understanding from reading and reflecting. I've been digging into books I've been intending to read, especially those by historian Barbara Tuchman. I learned about her at the outset of my tour of duty at the White House as the Air Force aide to President George H.W. Bush. The director of the White House Military Office, Lieutenant General U.S. Army retired Richard Trefry, is now an esteemed trustee of this institution, and I understand he's watching on stream, so hi again, General Trefry. And he told me about a speech that Barbara Tuchman delivered in 1972 to Army generals at the U.S. Army War College. Tuchman spoke about the necessary qualities for generalship and leadership, physical and moral courage, as well as their necessary partner, intellect. Your academic studies, your lifelong learning are feeding your intellect. But to the point of courage, in words that still resonate, General Trefry said, roughly, "It's easier to dodge bullets than to look someone in the eye and do the right thing." Adrenaline and training harness the former in the heat of the moment, but the latter act requires moral courage, to bravely and respectfully raise a concern or a dissent in the cold light of day. This is a human challenge, doing the hard right, speaking up for the human dignity of colleagues, questioning the consequences of a new technology, respectfully disagreeing, helping another person improve, or admitting that we need to improve, or listening to another point of view and taking new insights on board. My father was brave and loving enough to do the hard right when I jumped far beyond the world that he knew. When I transitioned from the Air Force about almost 2 years ago, I wanted to know if what I had learned and practiced in uniform would transfer to the private sector. It turns out that yes, people and organizations behave in essentially the same ways. That's why they write all those books about organizational management and change leadership. And to that point, a retired Master Chief Petty Officer, Navy SEAL, approached me after one team visit. He was a player development coach and shared that they don't know what we know. At first, it's awesome to be part of we across services, government, department, and ranks. Before the Goldwater-Nichols Act of 1986, I don't think we would have been talking to each other. But our shared experience transfers. We know that a clear purpose focuses group effort, that we should define roles and train for our roles and hold each other accountable. We know that more than we think we know, more than our technical specialties, more than the coursework you just finished for your degree. Caveat here, humility and respect for what other people know are imperative before sharing what we know. Humility is really key here. But most importantly, we know that people want to be able to trust our peers and leaders. We want to know that our comrades care about us and our shared purpose, not just about themselves. We generally forgive errors in those with the courage to try and the humility to admit when they fall short. Earn trust, respect others, do your best. In the 1970s, the writer and humorist Art Buchwald said, "I don't know if these are the best times or the worst of times, but this is the only time you've got." I think his words ring true in 2019. Life path is circuitous, not a straight road. Opportunities and challenges pop up without notice. Carpe diem. Keep your integrity, respect yourself and those around you. Enjoy a life of learning with the courage to grow your understanding. Take time to reflect. You know more than you think you do. These may not be the best of times or the worst of times, but this is the only time we have. Let's make the most of it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you for those inspiring words, General Johnson. Please accept this gift as a token of our appreciation. Our university is honored to have you here today. Thank you. I would like to now welcome our class of 2019 graduate, Christina Schaff, to the podium to deliver the 2019 student address. The class of 2019 is over 10,000 strong. Christina was selected to share her personal experience as a representative of this strong, diverse, and impressive graduating class, and you are. Christina?
President Boston, Board of Trustees, alumni, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, family, friends, welcome to the commencement ceremony for the undergraduate class of 2019. Today, we celebrate our achievements and each other's accomplishments. I speak for everyone when I say it is a great honor to be here with a breadth of talent in this room. I am humbled to be able to speak on your behalf. We all have our own story of how we arrived here today. After speaking to so many classmates recently, I found out how eerily similar parts of our stories are. I was born on American Samoa, a little island that is a possession of the United States in the South Pacific. Out of a family of 8 siblings, I am the first to receive a bachelor's degree, and at the age of 43. Like many of you, I began with attempting to pursue a degree while deployed, then continuing on as a single parent. Along the way, more responsibilities came. I struggled with balancing the care of 2 special needs children, my husband's deployments, maintaining a full-time position with long hours in the national security sector, PCSing to new duty stations, and maintaining my own well-being after a health crisis in 2014. Yet, like all of you, I needed to complete this journey. I am so grateful to have had this opportunity to pursue my passion through American Public University system. This degree was not handed to me. I worked very hard for this, and I know you all feel the same. I say this only to dissuade you from allowing society, others, and yourself to create arbitrary boundaries and devalue your worth. We are limitless. We are more than our circumstances. All of us here have proven that. We have earned our place here today. I also want to recognize and honor those who have been part of my journey. Like you, I would not be here today without the support of so many others. In deference to the one who kept me going, I want to acknowledge and praise and esteem my Heavenly Father, my Creator. While pursuing my degree in religion, my relationship with Him became stronger. He guided my studies and gave me the strength to keep going. I also learned to appreciate the differences we have in our beliefs, and that my truth and your truth can both be right for us. My husband, Kevin, my rock, thank you for coming home from your duty station in Africa. You have always been the voice of reason and encouragement, urging me to use our money toward education instead of buying yourself another custom V guitar. My children, Samara and Alec, thank you. I love you both for making so many personal sacrifices so I could do this. To my mother who passed away, thank you for inspiring me. Through all your hardships of speaking broken English, relying on an 8th grade education, raising all 8 of us as a single parent, and struggling to make ends meet, you instilled in me the importance of hard work and not accepting handouts. Your dreams for me of joining the military and getting a college education have come true. To my Auntie Soanafai, for being here today to represent my mother, thank you. To my sister Leilani, thank you for always being my positive, loving sibling who always listens and never judges. To my Aunt Taryn, I never knew my father and only recently found his side of the family. Thank you for being here today so that both of the sides of my family can be reunited and represented. I feel this degree waiting on this moment for both sides of my family to be reunited. I'm also grateful to the military. Like many of you, it gave me the means to change the direction of my life, blaze my own path. Fa'afetai lava, thank you all for all you've done for me. To the families and friends who traveled here from overseas, across the country, and locally to be here today. And to those who are watching us live right now, on behalf of our class, our heartfelt gratitude to all of you for the sacrifices you made for your graduate. This too is your moment. The support you gave us was so worth it, and without you, we may not be here today. To our faculty and mentors, I want to say thank you for pushing us to be better. Robert Louis Stevenson once said, "Do not judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." The faculty members are some of the most talented and highly educated professors on staff. They continually planted seeds, pushed us to go outside of our comfort zone, and require that we strive for excellence and beyond. To the rest of the cadre, staff, and leadership, thank you for all that you do. We want you to know that you are all appreciated. Today marks another feather in our cap, another dream come true, another historic milestone in our lives. All the sleepless nights, countless weekends of studying, writing papers have paid off. Remember the reasons, the people, and the faith that helped get you here today. Remember where you came from and know where you're headed. On a final note, as we embark on new paths or build upon those we currently are on, I challenge you to leave here determined to learn, live, and defend your truths. Whether you go on to continue your studies or your journey pauses here, remember that educating yourself and others does not end here. To obtain knowledge and understanding of truth, we must continue learning. As we leave today, we will possess one of the most valuable treasures on this earth, an education. No one can take this away from you. Class of 2019, Godspeed and congratulations. Go forth and inspire others. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, for those heartfelt and inspiring words. We would now like to take a moment to recognize those graduates who could not be here with us today. The next portion of our ceremony celebrates all of our virtual attendees, all of you watching and celebrating from around the world. The first person to cross the stage will be a bachelor's degree candidate representing those who are participating virtually through the live webcast of today's ceremony. Will the individual representing our graduates in absentia please come forward? This moment celebrates all of you around the world that could not be here physically today. This gives you the opportunity to celebrate through the eyes of a fellow graduate and have that moment of crossing the stage into alumni status. Congratulations to you all. Now, it's the moment you've been waiting for. President Boston, I am pleased to present to you the American Public University System Class of 2019 candidates. Bachelor and associate degree candidates, please stand and come forward by school to receive your diploma and alumni gift.
School of Arts and Humanities. Catherine Gilligan Berryman, Oklahoma. Nicole Vaccaro, California. Stephanie John, Virginia. Sakina Holt, Maryland. Chad Larson, Minnesota. James Derbyshire, North Carolina. Daniel Bostic, Texas. Carlton McPherson, North Carolina. Nicola Masha, District of Columbia. Richard R. Emery, New Jersey. Nicole Ashley Santiago, Michigan.
Jacqueline Castaneda Fuller, California.
Kira L. Hoskins, South Carolina.
Lisa Ann Marie Thomas Wilson, Alaska.
Ariana Real, California.
Eric Edwards, Ohio.
Venetia Stanko, North Carolina. Alexander Darnell Bonaparte, Pennsylvania. Kaylin Jones, Florida. Rory Jackson, Utah. Lindsay Nesselrote, Nebraska. Charlene Dan, Florida. Howard S. Bibbins, Connecticut. Heather Mae Dombrowski, Virginia. John Vincent Whelan Jr., New York. Wendelin Robles Cortez, Maryland. Adam Claybaugh, Virginia. Courtney Levitt, North Carolina. James Martin Spiker, Canada. Rochelle Shand, Georgia. Nicholas Hildum, Texas. Carl Dudley, Vermont. Tony Shamshore, Virginia. Eric E. Gonzalez, California. Kesra Faiz, California. Mary Diver, Virginia. Jacob Linton, Virginia. Karen Soto, Florida. Andrew Harris, South Carolina. Cassandra Lynette Mills, Kansas. Daniela Isabel Estremera, Pennsylvania. Rebecca A. Bowen, West Virginia. Sarah Smoot, West Virginia. Brittany Keys, West Virginia.
Holland Duane, Tennessee.
Stephanie Sonia Scuteri, Texas. Sierra Williams, North Carolina. Celine Unger, Wisconsin. Daniel Kyle Strickland, Alabama. Anne Marie Moore, Maryland. Christina Mayava Schaff, American Samoa.
July Rodriguez, New York.
Sharia Haywood, California. Tashika Booker, Maryland. Lisa Jo Leroy Beckett, North Carolina. Brittany Waite, Wisconsin. Verma Jean Satterfield, Connecticut. Jasmine Pleasant, Washington. Jennifer Colon, Georgia. Ronald A. Simonson, Delaware. Sean Pinkney, New York. Maurice D. Ingram, Georgia.
Emmanuel Jones, Florida.
Suzanne Hensford, New York. Amber Lynn Conda, Kansas. Amber Kasner, California. Alexander Coleman, Virginia. Ebony Chanel Cuffey, Virginia. Benjamin Smith, North Carolina. Sean DeWitt, South Dakota. Tisha Harden, North Carolina. Victoria Nicole Hughes, Georgia. Antonio O. Barkley, Georgia. Stacy Marie Caffin, Michigan. Heather Howard, West Virginia. Erin Elizabeth Carpenter, Michigan. James D. Respis, North Carolina. Diamond Holmes, Colorado. Lihia Reyes, Virginia. Anthony Lee Chestnut, North Carolina. Andrea Eubank, North Carolina. Jennifer A. Thorpe, Maryland. Lauren Marebrote, Virginia.
Allison Fox, Florida.
Ivana Castaldi, Florida. Sarah Keatings, New York. Jennifer Nicole Beecham, Virginia. Lakeisha Newman, Maryland. Kelsey Adams, South Carolina. Marcus Register, Oklahoma. Nilda Suficiencia, American Samoa. Leilani Stewart, Maryland. Vanessa McRae, Maryland. Tori Mitchell, Texas. Teresa Ekman, Tennessee. Alyssa Schrump, Pennsylvania. Brandon Williams, North Carolina. Erica Stump, West Virginia. Estella W. Salter, Tennessee. Melissa Dunn, Maryland. Lance Leong, New York.
Demetrius Ward Sr., Michigan. Markeisha Williamson, Alabama. Ikenya Wosu, Maryland. Mariela Andrea Salvoc, Argentina. Gary Hollowell, Michigan.
Chad Wright, Illinois. Brandon Billups, Maryland. School of Business. Brandy Hardister, Maryland. Joseph E. Haranes, West Virginia. David Ray Galindo, Texas. Amanda Ring Martin, North Carolina. Eldon Mock, Virginia. Kristen Munoz, Maryland. Jody Ziegler, Pennsylvania. Jennifer Johnson, North Carolina. Annette Frazier, Illinois. Ashley Paul Ham Jr., Georgia. Haley Revels, Florida. Malika Hicks Amerson, New Jersey.
Crystal Lynn Scalf, Florida.
Melinda Corvelli, Illinois. Santiago Rendon, Delaware. Robert Paul Andrews, Florida. Jason Hamburg, California. Gregory Anthony Ocasio Jr., Connecticut. Doria Walker, Virginia. Joseph Smythe, South Carolina. Linda Krasinski, Pennsylvania. Michael Wheatley, Nevada. Whitney Harshman, Maryland. Mark L. Geldum, Indiana. Dui Tang, Oregon. Candy King, Illinois. Joseph Rogers, Pennsylvania. Heidi Michelle Cruz, Virginia. Karen D. Bell, Alabama. Rachelle Roach, Louisiana. Jochebed Gutierrez, Texas. Aubrey Martins, Virginia. Courtney Shergala, New York. Mohammed Mubarak Al-Hussein, Virginia. Aaron Manuel Cantu, Texas. Carl Marshall, Texas.
Dana Latrice Brooks, Maryland.
Jamie Collins, Montana.
Leo Golowinski, Georgia.
Mario Van Hayes, Maryland. Ian Schlenkerman, Virginia. Javel McAllister, Georgia. Jeffrey Allen Hall Jr., Illinois. Chelsea Walker, Florida. Donald Ray Page Jr., Louisiana. Thomas Jones Scott, Kansas. Morris Cruz, Virginia. Angela Dunstan, Virginia. Dion Warner, Florida. Joseph Paul Smith, Rhode Island. Christopher Raleigh Howlett, Maryland. Blaine Davidson, Florida. Natasha A. Carroll, Pennsylvania. Constance Ojajuni, Maryland. Danae Carter, Virginia. Amanda Lujano, North Carolina. Christopher Williams, Texas. Anna Maria Raplogel, Pennsylvania. Jason L. Wiggins, Maryland. Gisela Federo, Minnesota. Antonino Raniolo, Connecticut. Alicia Hitzel, West Virginia. Alex Jarbo, Michigan. Mario Colon, Puerto Rico. Chrisetta Green, South Carolina. John O. Myers III, Germany. Jaquel Alexander, Alabama. Amanda L. Lloyd, Nebraska.
Sarah Jones, Virginia.
Linda K. Holland Blackwell, North Carolina. Janelle Strandman, Texas. Crystal Barnes, Georgia. Deidre Marie Carello, Georgia. Robert N. Archer II, North Carolina. Matthew Stephen Neal, Missouri. Elvin Ortega Gonzalez, Colorado. Matthew James Moore, New Jersey. Kevin Glidewell, Florida. Audrey Ann Taylor, Virginia. Brittany Ann Kempton, Florida. Blake Nunez, Texas. Jesse Martinez, Michigan. Brown Travis Cornwell, Virginia. Karandeep Singh Panu, Washington. Whitney Hall Floyd, Louisiana. Aishana Racine, Maryland. Constance Jennifer Nichols Bingham, Pennsylvania. Jessica Kane, Virginia. Lee Dixon, Florida. Rashad Frazier Gaines, South Carolina. Christina Whitehouse, Illinois. Joseph Dwayne Megason, Florida. Cody Daly, Florida. Chardell Patterson, Pennsylvania. Sheila R. Hearn, Mississippi. Angeloka Boudreau, Louisiana. Cecile Clark Coleman, District of Columbia. Marisol Chapman Rodriguez, Florida. Teresia W. Kamau, Oklahoma. Phoenicia Danielle Mall, Georgia. Natalie Coughlin, California. Nathaniel Greathouse, Virginia. David Jefferson Sr., North Carolina. Eric Lang, Mississippi. Randall J. Kent, Indiana. Marcus Garvey Boyd, Kansas. Stephan Alexander, Georgia. Valentine Uzoegbu, Texas. Donald E. Claiborne Jr., New Jersey. Joshua Garcia, Florida. Marlon Marrero, Puerto Rico. Michelle Morin, Maryland. Jill Carolyn Johnston, Oregon. Teresa A. Hawkins, North Carolina. Norbert Stevenson, California. Jason Rice, Michigan. Eric Kaysen, Virginia. Deanna Ford, Georgia. Sharon Denise Rochester, Maryland. Eric Smith, Colorado. Christopher Ballone, Maryland. Desiree E. Shanafelter, Pennsylvania. Jasmine Stevens, North Carolina. Kimberly Gray, Virginia. Ron Sater, Kansas. Sana El Najjar, California. Brandy Golphin, Mississippi. Dawn Christina Warren, Ohio. Joanna White, Michigan. Kevin D. Green, Michigan. Kevin Brill, Kentucky. Barbara Ann Bennett, Nevada. Terrell West, Louisiana. Matthew Apodaca, New Mexico. James Lee Solano Jr., Colorado. Antonia Silva Warren, Illinois. Jennifer Acevedo, New York. William Blake Gable, Georgia. Kelly Lynette Morales, Florida. Richard McKnight Daniels, Ohio. Clifford W. Jackson III, North Carolina. Denise Callens, Virginia. Christina J. Sealander, West Virginia. Janelle Present, Virginia. Estefania Diana Genovese, Italy. Keisha Jamila Kyler, District of Columbia. Charles McDew, Georgia. Isidro Alexi Granados, Maryland.
Sabsak Vongvirath, Virginia.
Eric Malcolm Cook, Florida. Patrice Chance, Texas. Joanne Daniels, New Jersey. Patricia Nicholas, Florida. Ted Sendler, North Carolina. Fabian Oros, Texas. Donnie Denigio, Virginia.
Tanya Latasha Griffith, New York. Mirla Ramirez, Florida.
Rosalind Brandon, North Carolina. Dina Oscar Exelholm, Virginia.
Renee Hernandez, Florida.
Brian J. Behunin, Massachusetts. George W. Heflin Jr., Florida. Ellis Chica, Virginia. Rebecca Kavanaugh, Pennsylvania. Santana Folk, North Carolina. Iona Pickett, Michigan.
Neil Teofane, Miapi, Illinois.
Eliza Oleas, California. Thomas Dunn, Georgia. John Leachman, Arkansas. Timothy Gall, Texas. Renee Watson, Arizona. Courtney R. DeRocher, Pennsylvania. Sean O'Connell, Virginia. Tara Chantal Heron, West Virginia. Brian Foxworth, Texas. Matthew Lothrop, Delaware. Lena L. English, South Carolina. Veronica Marie Alderetti, California. Bahi Bisu Lambert, Georgia. Stephanie Stokes, Illinois. Kaylor Cox, Wisconsin. Durrell Marsh, South Carolina. Zachary Holler, Georgia. Mike Esadara, California. Nicholas Michael Rapassi, Pennsylvania. Geraldine Tamayo, New York. Angela Christine Vaughn, Oklahoma. Timothy A. Butler, South Carolina. Emery Joseph Taylor, Louisiana. Eric Hayes Preston, Arizona. Lonnie Al Johnson Jr., Florida. Quinley John Eddix, New York. Darius Duncan, Virginia. Denise D'Artes, Louisiana. Kimberly Hammond, District of Columbia. Devin Tannehill, Georgia. Damian Green, Louisiana. Jamie Fulp, North Carolina. Dennis Liss, Virginia. Kenneth E. Hubbard, South Carolina. Tiffany Chantel Carey, Virginia. Jamal Berry, California. Maria Clark, Arkansas. Mary Hunter, Virginia. Michaela Bello, Texas. Justin Marcel Thurman, Georgia. Tyrone Watson, Georgia. Marcy Lynn Peichel, Pennsylvania. Christine Butinsky, West Virginia. Smith Pierre, Georgia. Marcia Andrea Blackwell, Maryland. Felicia Vontre Young, South Carolina. Rachel Spates, West Virginia. Christina Price, Ohio. Erica Latrice Scott, Alabama.
Melvin McDouglas Dunbar Jr., Washington. Willie Brian Allen, Alabama. Merwin McIntyre Jr., Pennsylvania. Christopher Franklin, Georgia. Eric Johnson, Georgia. Valerie Buckner, Alabama. Mac Ardoin, Louisiana. Charles Hatton, Kentucky. Brejian Ben, Florida. Darren Dwayne Mays Jr., Louisiana. Holly Brown, California. Eileen Marie Andrews, Virginia. Linda Crafton, Virginia. Nicole Cerritos, North Carolina. Carlos Cerritos, North Carolina. James Dixon, Washington, D.C. Randall Perrin II, Louisiana. Wilmer Varner, Virginia. Chad Davis, Virginia. Ebony Elise Martin Harris, Georgia. Clara Watkins, New York. Rachel Blasco, Illinois.
Congratulations.
Lillian Farquharson, Kentucky. Gabrielle Williams, Nevada. Martha Romero Mata, Florida. Jason Andrade, Maryland. Albert Fisher, South Carolina.
School of Education. Laura M. Lopez Cotto, Puerto Rico. Janet Skrepik, Illinois. Keisha Archer, North Carolina.
Congratulations.
John Paul Guelli, New York. Alexandra Moore, New York. Dwayne Raymond West Sr., Pennsylvania. Emily Leanne Tracy, Pennsylvania. Carla Springer, Michigan. Jennifer Gonzalez, Pennsylvania. Annalise Peeler, Pennsylvania. Stephen Lee, Virginia. Sherry Newcomb, Virginia. Alexis Lands, Louisiana. Lindsay Schroeder, Nevada. Kurzna Shakan Miller, Louisiana. Tawanda Wimbush, Alabama. Sandra Flores, Texas. Jordana Polynice Cabanda, Michigan. Amanda K. Fellhofer, Texas. Tanisha Wilford Loudman, Maryland. Yvonne Brooks, Virginia. Andrea Moffett, Mississippi. Melissa Sanchez, Virginia. Danielle Smith-John, Virginia. Tensha Mika Hawkins, Florida. Martin Randall Brown, Pennsylvania. Jasmine David Overstreet, Alabama. Denise Carter, Alabama. Tiana McBurrows, Florida. Courtney Williams, Virginia. Catherine Brown, Maryland.
Tiffany Stephen, West Virginia. Elizabeth Ashley Dawson, Virginia. Ann Melissa Winkler, Minnesota.
Shannon Marie Veras, New Mexico.
School of Health Sciences. Katie Curry, Ohio. Jean Marie Howley, Virginia. Alyssa Marie Guzman, Texas. Dawn George, Virginia. Tyler Dion Poole, New Jersey. Kathleen Patricia Dalrymple, Kansas. Chantel Kelly Suber, Illinois. Debonay E. Cheeks, Illinois. Johanda N. Nelson, Florida. Jasmine A. Rivera, North Carolina. Hilda Nalukago, Colorado. Marquisha Cosby, Maryland. Stacy Meyer, California. Eltanya Humbert, Florida. Aaron Best, North Carolina. Nicholas Sleeman, Florida. Mark Jumfor, Florida. Dorcas Chesseret, Colorado. Lakeisha Jones, Georgia. Megan Ladaka, California. Tiffany Shepard, Maryland. Brianna Marie Fuller, Nevada. Brianna Shondice Millhouse, Oklahoma. Deborah Ann Grant, Florida.
Amanda Petway, Virginia.
Kyle Bakai, West Virginia. Olekachi Jean Ezugu, Nigeria. Whitney N. Rice, Nevada. Evelyn G. Mensa, New Jersey. Rocio Picazzari, Texas.
Gerald Rashad Arnad, North Carolina.
Brandy Reed, Maryland. Elizabeth Hasselbrack, Maryland. Tasha Johnson, Maryland. Rosa Lopez, New York. Shauna Fisher, Michigan. Laura Brooks Carranza, Massachusetts. Jonathan Paul Morales, Texas. Timothy Hilton, New York. Michael Fowler, Montana. Amy Margaret Pepperman, California. Nathan Sanchez, California. Timothy Flowers, Illinois. Kayla Mangum, California. Beverly McCoy, North Carolina. Chloe Karstens, West Virginia. Antoine Jacobs, Virginia. Alejandro Galban, Texas. Maria Jessica D. Post, California. Demekus Eubanks, Georgia. Yvonne Racy, Virginia. Stacy Staunton, Alabama. Thorin Evans, Hawaii. Andrew J. Baker, Oklahoma. Tanisha L. Hadnot, Texas. Katrina Welnicki, New York. Susan Slaughter, Virginia. William Thornton, North Carolina. Lucy Muru, Massachusetts. Alonzo Howard, Louisiana. Nathaniel Irick, North Carolina. Erica Alexandra Preto, Virginia. Cameron Childress, Florida. Jacob Hardesty, Texas. Brian O'Halloran, Illinois. Troy Hardin, North Carolina. Anthony N. Ventresca, North Carolina. Philip Shaw, North Carolina. Christopher D. Maingram, Texas. Sean Lamar Stewart, Nebraska. Abigail Woods, Florida. Lamisha Richardson, Alabama. Michael Tyree Fox, Florida. D'Angela Morris, Arkansas. Nikisha Bazzi, New York. Rebecca Thompson, West Virginia.
Fabricio Monhay, Virginia. Richard Williams, Georgia. Jennifer Delgado, Virginia. Chanel Horn, Maryland. Stephanie Szerzynski, Florida. Jacqueline Lee Guzmel, Idaho.
School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Michael Sean Piddington, Texas. Jonathan Ryan Kilgore, Tennessee. Emma Cargbo, North Dakota. Brian Michael Poe, Jr., Florida. Joshua Mall, California. Xavier Jenkins, Georgia. Rebecca Schaefer, Maryland. Kevin King, Arizona. Anthony Scott Brecht, Virginia. DeAndre Moore, Texas. Rashane Taylor, North Carolina. Donald M., California. Cassandra Nauta Brown, North Carolina.
Detrice Afriye Opoku, Virginia.
Sherry Matson, Hawaii. Killian Miguel Malena, New York. Rhonda M. Jones, Michigan.
Sherry Peters, Alabama.
Omar Nadal Riyad Huggy, Virginia. Nicholas Odero, Idaho. Andrew Fonger, West Virginia. Eliza Morales Santiago, Virginia. Alexander Revels, Florida. Brian Tafoya, New Mexico. Carrie Kunkel, Pennsylvania. Jessica Kane, Texas. Bertha Webnui Taku, Colorado. Monica S. Schneider, Indiana. Ann Johnson, Virginia. LaDonna Avakian, Oregon. Gregory Copenhaver, West Virginia. Matthew Wayne Moore, West Virginia. Nishay Woodruff, Indiana. Jason Miller, Indiana. Brian David Grossi, Ohio. Timothy Block, Virginia. Jonathan Gordner, Maryland. Richard Dillon Watson, Virginia. Bernard Anthony Edmonds, South Carolina. Tony Howard Hatcher, Georgia. Austin Schuler, North Carolina. Samantha Reyna, Texas. Mark Pangalo, Pennsylvania. Melanie Bryson, South Carolina. Brian Myers, New York. Rachel Olson, New York. Kimberly Bachman, Arizona. Nathan Szymanski, North Carolina. Lord Tamar Allah, New York. Zachary Taylor Reynolds, Texas. David Govindasamy, South Carolina. Omar Musasar, Virginia. Zachariah John Serta, California. Stanley McAllister, Georgia. James Bond, Alaska. Cameron MacArthur, Michigan. Ian Bush, Michigan. Gemma Jones, Florida. Justin Gilbert, District of Columbia. Lloyd DeWitt, Ohio. Kishanta Cheney, Georgia. Brenda Christie Villanueva, Texas. Medina Birhan, District of Columbia. Marquise Kibo Bailey, Tennessee. Gerald Eugene Cross, California. Alan Smith, Virginia. Tierra Blue, Georgia. Benny Alexander Fields III, Texas. Anthony Scateri, Texas. Lucas Hawker, Pennsylvania. Scott Osteen, Georgia. Nadera Savoy, Pennsylvania. Genesis Reyes, California. Wesley Buttram, Kentucky. Alicia Jones, New York. Dania Shirley, Jamaica. Crystal Shank, West Virginia. Courtney Seitz, Maryland. Shauna Gibbs, Illinois. Bradley Rohr, Virginia. Adoinge S. Abba, Texas. Skylar Jordan Laham, California. Cynthia White, Arizona. Kevin Antonio Sargent, Virginia. Dr. Gary Deal, Florida. Gary Smith, Virginia. Janine Urell, South Carolina. Michelle L. Thomas, North Carolina. Jason M. Patitucci, New York. Tiffany Richardson, Virginia. Sanam Akpiko, Georgia. Carlos Scott, Alabama.
Alfredo Flores, California. Jessica Lunt Painter, North Carolina. Daryl Bailey, Virginia. Ruben Rodriguez, Chicago, Illinois. Ross Kading, Illinois. Lewis Williams Jr., Illinois. Donald Fisher, Florida. Eva Elvira Mendez, New Jersey. Jessica Versace, New York. Mark Julik, Ohio.
School of Security and Global Studies. Jeffrey Basaldua, Texas. Gail Lynn Sanchez, Texas. Mark L. Buck, Ohio. Leonard J. Nichols, Massachusetts. Earl Morris, North Carolina. Paul Harris, Tennessee. Brandon Callahan, New York. Roberta Waller, Texas. Marina Angela Gonzalez, California. Christopher Wilson, Mississippi. Luke Baunock, North Carolina. Sarah Hetzler, Michigan. Kadir Abdullah Chapman, Pennsylvania. Carlos O. Torres, Puerto Rico. Stephen Cook, Virginia. Christopher Byrne, Florida. Aliu Jallo, Virginia. Matthew Santo, West Virginia. Chandranique Perkins, Illinois. Justin Fallings, Virginia. Sharon K. Farrell, Florida. Sonny Valle Jr., American Samoa. Jordan Jennings, Missouri. Joshua LeBlanc, New Mexico. Terrence D. Robinson, Florida. Oscar Yepes, New York. Dominique Rodriguez, Texas. James Alexander Stafford, Maryland. Adam Parker Jenkins, North Carolina. Robert O'Donnell, Pennsylvania. Victoria Dougherty, Tennessee. Charles Phillips Bowles IV, Virginia. Elisa Day Cosby, Alabama. Marshall Ford, Florida. Daniel Vella Jr., Virginia. Lakeisha Cole, Virginia. Christiana Sullivan Morales, North Carolina. Lenley Mirren, Oklahoma. Erica Leonetti, New Jersey. John Gibson, Texas. Joseph Yai Ayan, Colorado. Phil Ragsdale, Illinois. Nicole Green, North Carolina. Jenica Alexis Krantz, Pennsylvania. Ashley DeWan Smith, Alabama. Morgan Scott, West Virginia. Latanya McCoy, Virginia. Aramide Adewole, Maryland. John Wesley Walker, Virginia. Aristides Salvatierra, California. Mark Adam Carter, North Carolina. Lance Holtgeerts, Michigan. Cortland McCullough, Maryland. Josephine Gerono Camelli, California. Jose Garcia Cornejo, New York. Alan Teston, Texas. Sandra Priscilla Resendiz, California. Amanda Rosado, New Jersey. Rohan Paul, New York. Monique F. Upton, Virginia. Danielle Betts, Oregon. Cedric Green, Sr., Florida.
Thomas Henry Trotter, Florida.
Gar Edward Heacock, Alabama. James Edward Harrell, Alabama. Alvin J. Aaron, Florida. Devin Carney, Virginia. Leif Sundberg, Virginia. Stephen Thomas Rao, Virginia. Gabriel Edward Martinez Baca, New Mexico. Raul Canon, Nevada. Gary Ridgely Jr., Pennsylvania. Donald Weaver, Pennsylvania. Julie Oros, Texas. J.D. Evans, Oklahoma. Randall Christopher Dennis, Texas. Nathan Robert Folks, Texas. Kristen Lee Koski, Virginia. Danae Nat, Maryland. Robert Kevin Kirk, Florida. Donna Wright, Florida. Rasheen Simpson, Virginia. Kimberly Kirshner, Pennsylvania.
Joelle Carter, Texas.
Timothy Michael Varnell, Pennsylvania. Jocelyn Feliz, New York. Stasa Kruger, Texas. Joseph Spencer, North Carolina. Christopher Parks, North Carolina. Allison Encarnacion, U.S. Virgin Islands. Christopher Van Boven, Florida. Adhan Sanchez, Texas. Aaron Zapata, California. Daniel Murray, West Virginia. Christopher J. Kluge, New York. Joshua West, Ohio. Dwayne Roper, Maryland. Tiffany Linden, West Virginia. Marvin Abwan, California. Devin Richardson, Utah. Darren Tracy Sampson, Utah. Brian J. McKinney, Texas. Anthony Madden, Ohio. Mark Anthony Reyes, Texas. Ronrico Hayes, Tennessee. Michael Farrell, Ohio. Matthew Swartz, Florida. Trevor V. Donatian Jr., Maryland. Yancey Young, Illinois. Christopher Stoffel, Kentucky. Nicole Williamson, Ohio. Kendrick Walker Jr., Wisconsin. Kenneth L. Johnson, Tennessee. Gerald Lee Neal, Tennessee. Andy E. Moss, New York. Eric Lee Hall, New York. Lonnie D. Christian, Virginia. Nathan Ratliff, Virginia. Edward Borges Jr., California. D'Angelo Fields, Mississippi. Mohammed Zakir Hassan, New York. Christopher Philip Powell, Maryland. Lawrence Eakins, California. Kareem Dion Brown, South Carolina. Karen Brady, Ohio. Sydney Max Herrera Moya, California. Brittany Mullen, California. Melissa Stroik, Nevada. David Shipp, Maryland. Shamika Beckley, California. Taylor Morin, Maryland. Ashley Deach Owings, Kentucky. Peter Lasky, Virginia. Lauren Gruelke, Maryland. Lauren Elizabeth Smith, California. William Bryant Jr., Maryland. Sean Reynaud Lovell, Louisiana. Letty Jarid Vasquez, Puerto Rico. Robert West, Louisiana. Derek McCall, Maryland. Joshua Adams, Ohio. Tiffany Toy, California. Tina Nicole, Alabama. Frederick Joyce Jr., New York. James R. Lamoth, Florida. Cristiano Kanga, Florida. Mohammed Sarmad, California. Troy Williams, Florida. Eric Richard Heil, North Carolina. Justin Joseph, Virginia. Matthew Walagorski, Illinois. Jordan Rutter, Virginia. Jessica Helms, North Carolina. Luis Flores, Texas. Ayla Krennick, Texas. Jamie Michelle Boyan, Michigan. Shayna Wilson, Virginia. Vanya Vermezovic, California. Heather Boers, New Jersey. Faith K. Carter, Georgia. Cecily Camillo, Wisconsin. Tanya Esther, Arkansas. Ruby Path, North Carolina. Janelle A. Woodard, Florida. Sylvester Lawrence, Pennsylvania. Jamilet Horwitz, Florida. Alexander Esmeralda, Arizona. Sierra Chantel Diggs, Maryland. Bianca Yorga, Virginia. Adam Whale, Minnesota. Sahadu Raul Dembo Sono Masari, Benin. Heidi Canelas, Maryland. Emily C. McIntosh, Texas. Stephen Mazzi, Ohio. Amanda Allen, North Carolina. Antoinette Marshall, Georgia. Kelly Martinez, New Mexico. Maria Bailey, Virginia. Sarah Marie Falgu Villafanier, Louisiana. Martha J. Collins, District of Columbia. Jeffrey Antonio Kroom, Alabama.
Israel Grass Riva, North Carolina.
Tiffany Porterfield, Pennsylvania. Peter John Creighton, New York. Christopher Anthony Carter, Nevada. Keith Neal, Virginia. Corrine Proctor, Virginia. Jesse Abundanza, New Mexico. Vincent Morgan, Oklahoma. Jean Todorov, Virginia. Curtis Phelps, Texas. Sasha Ramirez Toro, Washington. Luis Fernando Valentin Jr., Connecticut. Matthew Tellez, Illinois. Michelle Yvette Taylor, District of Columbia. Ashley Bethay, South Carolina. Jessica Santiago Valdez, New York. Christabel Alvarez, South Carolina.
Marisa Navarra Millet, Maryland. James Bavray, Maryland. Adrian Paul Abia, Alaska. Jordan Kyle Alfman, Virginia. Alexander Wilson, Louisiana. Devin Scawelia, Virginia. Gregory King, Washington, D.C. Chantel Moon, Minnesota. Royletta Garcia, New York. Craig Beasley, Maryland. Clifford Clark II, Texas. Aaron Abel Argüello, New Mexico. Jacoby Norris, Pennsylvania. Tasha Childress, Florida. Victoria Gossard, Maryland. Maria Clark, Arkansas. I'm gonna take these two.
Bachelor degree candidates, please rise. President Boston, these candidates have fulfilled all requirements for the respective bachelor's degrees, and it is with great pleasure that I present them to you.
Thank you, Provost Smith. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree with all of the privileges and responsibilities thereunto.
Associate degree candidates, please rise. President Boston, these candidates have fulfilled all requirements for their respective associate degrees, and it is with pleasure that I present them to you.
Thank you, Provost Smith. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the associate's degree with all of the privileges and responsibilities thereunto. All graduates, please rise. As an outward symbol of your achievement, you may now change your tassels from the right side of your cap to the left side. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a big round of applause for all of our graduates.
You may be seated. The American Public University System's Board of Trustees, directors, our outstanding faculty and staff extend our congratulations to you, our graduates, and now our alumni on the achievement of your educational goals. We have been privileged to support you in your endeavors, and we wish you only the best in the future. We want and encourage you to stay in touch. There are so many wonderful opportunities to stay connected to the university and your fellow graduates, like social media, our peer mentoring program, your alumni community, and much more. No matter how long or far your accomplishments take you, we will always be here for you. Thank you, families and friends of our graduates, for the support you have given them and for being present at this celebration. We hope you have enjoyed your commencement. Guests, please remain at your seats until the platform party, faculty, and graduates have recessed from the ceremonial hall. The side exit doors will remain closed until the recessional has exited the hall. Our commencement ceremony has concluded. Have a wonderful afternoon.